Hey guys, it's Erica, also known as Story of Erica over on Instagram. For today's video, I have a highly requested topic. I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit the pictures that I use for my Poshmark listings. I have gotten so many compliments and requests on how I get my pictures to look so bright and so clear and how the background looks so white and crisp. You have no idea how many requests I've gotten to do this video, how many people have asked me, how do you do it? What are your tips? What's your setup? How do you do it? So I decided I would film a video for you guys showing you exactly how I take and edit my pictures. The two apps I use the most are Snapseed and PicTapGo. I occasionally use VSCO, but I use that more for my Instagram pictures and not quite so much for my Poshmark pictures. I'm sure if you're selling on Poshmark, you already have your photo taking setup put together, but I have people ask me all the time how I set up my lights and my mannequin and just how it all works, so I thought I would show you guys that as well. So here's my photo taking setup. I have my two umbrella lights set here, and then on the wall I have a hook with a wooden hanger so I can hang the item that I'm photographing, or I can set it on my mannequin right there, which is standing in the corner. These are the Limo Studio umbrella lighting kit. It comes with 3 different lights. I will leave a link to my lighting kit down below. And when I take my photos, I just stand right there in between the 2 lighting kits. First thing we're going to do, obviously, is open up our app. I always start at PicTapGo for editing my pictures. I'll select the first picture, which is usually the cover shot, and hit edit up there in the corner. And then you can see you have adjustments where you can change the lighting, contrast, color, or warmth. You have filters, so there are a ton of different filters on here, but there are only 2 that I really like where you can find in my style. So you can save your favorites to your style section, and that way you can get to them very easily. My 2 favorites are Bright Side and Lights On. I feel like the other filters are a little bit too fake looking and they just don't look as accurate. So I like to use Bright Side or Lights On depending on the item that I'm editing. I'll click Lights On first, and you can see that I can swipe up and down to adjust how much of the filter I'm using. I don't usually like to use the entire thing just because it looks a little bit fake, but I'll put it to about almost full power, and then if you kind of swipe down, you can continue to edit. So I'll go to adjustments and I'll either adjust the color, I'll up the saturation a bit so that it looks more accurate because this is a really vibrant blue skirt. I'll go over to warmth and slide it a little bit to the left so that the background is a little bit less yellow, just because sometimes my pictures come out a little bit with a little bit of yellow cast. And then when you're done, you just hit go and hit save to camera roll. And then you can go and click pick, and it saves your picture up to the top, and you get to pick the next picture you want to edit. So again, we're going to pick the next picture, go to edit. In my style, you can pick whichever filter you want. For things that are like jeans, I do usually like to use Lights On, just because it really depends on the item, the colors, and the way the picture comes out. I slid it down a little bit and I swiped up to keep on adjusting. I'm going to put the warmth a little bit more on the blue side so that the background doesn't look as yellow. And then I will up the color and then hit go and save to camera roll. And then back to pick, and I will just do that to every single picture that I have for this listing. This shot obviously is sideways, and I would like to crop it, so if you click the little crop button up to the words PicTapGo, you can zoom in with your pinched fingers so that you can adjust where you want it to be. And then if you go over to the little circle button right here, you can either adjust how slanted you want the picture to be, or you can hit rotate completely. And that way you get your picture exactly the way you need it. I'm just going to zoom in and make sure that it's adjusted exactly how I want it to be, and then hit apply. The next item we're going to be editing is kind of a corally pink, and pinks and reds are the bane of my existence to edit. I absolutely hate editing anything that's black, red, or pink because the colors just are so hard to get to look accurate, and for black you kind of just lose all the detail in the item. But for pink and red, it's so hard to make it not look so blown out and way too bright and vibrant. So I'm going to show you how I do that. We're going to pick the cover shot for this item, which is this adorable cupcakes and cashmere top. I'm going to go to my style. I think I'm going to use Bright Side for this one, just because it doesn't make it look as overexposed. And I'm going to slide it almost all the way up. Go to adjustments again, boost up the color just the tiniest bit. I'm going to also adjust the brightness a little bit more so that it's not quite so dark looking, since this is a pretty light corally pink. You can also up the contrast just a little bit to make it pop a little bit more. And then for the warmth, I'm going to slide it down just a little bit, because when you slide it down to the left, it makes the picture more blue. And I feel like this is more of a cool tone pink than a warm tone pink. So then I'm going to hit go and save to camera roll just like all the other ones. One tip that is really cool is if you want to see the before and after shot, you just kind of hold down on the picture and it'll pull up the previous look of the picture. And then when you release, it pulls it back to what the picture looks like now that it's been edited. Now that we've finished editing all of the pictures for our listings, we're going to go back in and re-edit just the cover shots, because I feel like the cover shot is the most important picture in your entire listing, since it's the one that your buyer first sees and it draws them in. We're gonna go and open up Snapseed. And you can tap anywhere to open up a picture, obviously, because that's what it says right there. You can flip through the options here, or you can hit open from device and click camera roll, and you can find the picture that you want to edit. So first thing we're gonna do, you have filters down here at the bottom, which are very convenient. We can try playing with lots of different kinds. I don't personally like to use the filters on Snapseed. You can go to tools, and the first thing I usually do is I go to Selective. So Selective is kind of like dropping darts and having the editing effects only go on around those darts. So first thing you're gonna do is tap anywhere that you want to drop a dart for editing, and it has a B on it. If you swipe up or down, you see there are different options. So B is for brightness, C is for contrast, you have saturation or structure. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with brightness, and if you hold and pinch it, it puts on a red mask showing exactly where the edits are gonna go. So we're gonna put one down here in the corner, and if you swipe up to the right, it makes it brighter, or if you swipe down to the left, it makes it darker, which obviously we don't wanna do. We want our pictures to be bright and clear. So we're gonna swipe up to the right so that it brightens it up. And if you hit the little plus down in the corner, you can drop another dart. I'm gonna put one in each of the corners of the picture. You have the little before and after option up in the top right corner, so you can hold that down and see what it looked like before. It's already looking a lot better. Next, if you click on the dart and you swipe up or down, we're gonna swipe all the way down to structure and actually take down the structure, because it kind of blurs the background a bit, which I feel helps the item to really stand out a lot more. So you're gonna click on each dart, swipe all the way down to the bottom to structure, and down the structure a lot. And looking at before and after, it's looking very, very pretty. When you think that you're done, you can hit the little check in the bottom corner, and we're gonna go back to tools and use the other tool that I use very often in this app, which is healing. Healing is like a blemish remover, so that if there's any little spots on your picture, you can get rid of them. So now that we've opened up healing, you can zoom in very close by pinching with your fingers. And you can see that there's still kind of little black dots on here. That's because Maggie likes to leave cat hair in my light box all the time. And so if you just click on the little black dot, it will blur it out and get rid of it. So we're just gonna zoom in all over the picture and erase any little specks of dirt or cat hair that it looks like there are in here in this box, just to make sure that the background is very neutral and there's no distractions from the item that you're looking at. One thing that I will say is do not make the same mistake that I've made before. And if you do not move around the picture by pinching, you will try to blur out part of the picture and it will look like this. This is trying to move around the screen with just one finger, and it will mess up your picture. But there's the little back arrow down in the corner so you can fix it. So you have to use pinched fingers to move around when you have blur on. Otherwise, you're going to go like this and ruin your picture. But again, you can just go back and fix it. You hit check in the corner when you're done. When you're completely done editing your picture, you hit export in the bottom right corner, hit export again, and it saves a finished copy of the picture to your camera roll. Looking at before and after for the cover shots on all of these items, you can tell there's an amazing difference, which is why I edit my pictures for every single listing that I put up on Poshmark. I know some people who don't like to edit their pictures because they think it takes too long and it adds too much time to the process, but the picture is what sells the item, because obviously the buyer can't see the item in person. So your pictures have to sell your item. And if your pictures are very bright and clear and accurate to what the item looks like, you are more likely to sell your item a lot faster. So that's how I edit my pictures. Now you guys know the big secret. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.